Okay, welcome to your introduction videos, year 10. We're going to look at the idea of density, which we did look at in year 9, plus you probably understand the concept from your science lessons. So I don't really want to spend too much time on what the idea of density is, but needless to say, it's basically looking at how heavy an object is in relation to the amount of space that it takes up. Okay. So, for example, if we're thinking about things that sink and things that float, well, if I take a really, really massive sponge, it doesn't matter how large the sponge is and how heavy the sponge is, it will always float because it's very light compared to the amount of volume that it takes up. Whereas if I take a block of lead, it doesn't matter how small that block of lead is, it will always sink because it's very heavy when compared to the volume that it takes up. If we talk about water, for example, water actually has a density of 1 gram per centimetre cubed. That could be the same as 1 gram per milliliter, because remember, a milliliter is the same as a centimetre cubed. And that is because that's actually how a gram is defined. A gram is defined as the amount, the weight of water in 1 centimetre cubed. So that is the very definition of a gram. So objects that have a density higher than 1 gram per centimetre cubed will sink in water, and objects that have a density of less than 1 gram per centimetre cubed will float in water. Okay, and here's the formula. Now, if you remember, if you need this as a little cheat, which you shouldn't do because you should be able to rearrange it, density is equal to mass divided by volume. So that gives me that formula, and it always also tells me that volume is equal to mass divided by density, and that mass is equal to density times volume. But as I say, you shouldn't really need the triangle. You should be able to sort of just work that out. Okay. Now, typically we measure density in grams per centimetre cubed, but we also might, depending on the units of measurement that we've got for the question, we might be interested in kilograms per metres cubed, for example. Now, I want you to be able to convert between the two. Okay, so let's say 1 kilogram per metre cubed. What is that in grams per centimetre cubed? Well, what we do is we say, 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. And 1 metre cubed is equal to not 100 centimetres cubed. Hopefully last week we stamped that nonsense out. It's actually 1 million centimetres cubed. Okay, so what I'm doing to get 1 kilogram per metre cubed, I'm doing this divided. I'm doing this divided by this. So I now have to be doing this divided by this. Okay, which is simple to simplify because I can just cancel away these zeros, and so it's 1 over 1,000, which is equal to 0.001 grams per centimetre cubed. So 1 kilogram per centimetre cubed is equal to 0.01 grams per centimetre cubed. So you need to be able to convert between kilograms per metre cubed and grams per centimetre cubed, just in case the question asks you to do so. Okay, so I don't want to say too much more about what density actually is. I think you should already know. Of course, if you've got any questions about density, please don't hesitate to ask, okay? Because a lot of stuff won't make sense if you don't truly understand density. Anyway, okay, moving on. So you're going to get some pretty easy questions, and then some harder ones. So here's some very, very straightforward. So it says a cube has side 3 centimetres and has a mass of 54 grams. What is the density of the cube? Well, if it's a cube, then all the sides are 3 centimetres, so the volume is going to be equal to 3 cubed, 27 centimetres cubed. And the mass, you're told, is 54 grams. So the density is simply equal to the mass, 54, divided by the volume, 27. And so that is 2 grams per centimetre cubed. If you were asked to, and you had to change that to kilograms per metre cubed, it would actually be 2,000 kilograms per metre cubed. Because if 1 kilogram per metre cubed is equal to 0.001 grams per centimetre cubed, then it must be true that 1,000 kilograms per metre cubed is equal to 1 gram per centimetre cubed, and therefore we just times by 1,000. Okay, so should be pretty easy. Then you're asked, gold has a density of 19.32 grams per centimetre cubed. How much does 1 metre cubed of gold weigh? So be very careful here. You've got to avoid mixing up the units. So let's first of all say, okay, what does density equal? Density, let's go to my triangle. Density is mass divided by volume. So we want to know how much does 1 metre cubed of gold weigh. So we want mass. Well, mass is equal to density times volume. So we're going to do 19.32 times 1 metre cubed. Well, we can't do that because you're mixing up units. This is 1 metre cubed and this is grams per centimetre cubed. So we have to actually change this 1 metre cubed into centimetres cubed. So 1 metre cubed is equal to 1 million centimetres cubed. So actually what we have to do is times it by 1 million, which is what? 19,320,000. And what would that be? Grams. Okay, grams. Maybe a more appropriate unit of measure for that would be kilograms. So that would be 19,320 kilograms, or maybe even more appropriate than that would be tons, which would be 19.32 tons. 1,000 kilograms is a ton. Okay? I mean, obviously, if you think about it, a big block of gold that's 1 metre cubed is going to be very, very heavy. It's going to be very, very heavy indeed. So a little bit of reflection tells me that's probably the right answer. Let's just get rid of these. Right, now we're asked for the volume of an object. So again, volume is equal to mass divided by density. Okay, what is the volume of an object that weighs 1 kilogram and has a density of 6 grams per centimetre cubed? So again, let's change that 1 kilogram into 1,000 grams. So we know the mass is 1,000 and the density is 6 grams per centimetre cubed. So use your calculator. 1,000 divided by 6 is going to be 166.67. What's the unit of measure? This is volume, so it's going to be centimetres cubed to 2 decimal places. Okay, so just be very, very careful. Make sure you're not mixing up different units. Okay? So, I mean, I just have a look at this quickly. Which one is the right formula? Density equals mass times volume? No. Right, let's get this back up again so we can see. Density equals mass over volume. Density equals mass over volume. That's not there. Volume equals mass times density. No. Volume equals mass divided by density. That's got to be the right one. Okay, that's one of the correct formulas. The others are wrong. Okay, 10 centimetres cubed of aluminium has a mass of 28 grams. What's its density? Very easy. density is equal to mass divided by volume. So 28 divided by 10, 2.8 grams per centimetres cubed. No problems there with the units of measure. Okay, there's the answer. Seawater has a density of 1.03 grams per centimetre cubed. And seawater is slightly more dense just because there's salt in there. What is the mass of 100 centimetres cubed of seawater? So mass is equal to density times volume. So mass is equal to 1.03 times 100. So that should be 103 grams. Again, no problems with the unit of measure on this question. And not here either. Seawater has density 1.03 grams per centimetre cubed. What is the volume of 4.12 grams of seawater? So volume is equal to mass divided by density. So that's mass 4.12 divided by density 1.03, which is 4. And what's the unit of measure? Well, it's counting off the grams, it's going to be centimetres cubed. B is the answer. Okay, some straightforward questions for you to have a go at. Stop your video and do them. Okay, here are the answers. Okay, hope that makes sense. Any problems, just let me know. Okay, and another set of 3. Stop the video and have a go. Here's the answers. Okay, make sure you're using the right units. And 4 more questions to have a go at. Okay, here are the answers. Any problems at all with those, please let me know. Okay. Right, I'm going to stop the video there and